Welcome again to our course on biodesign, strategies for innovation and design on bioengineering. Today we're going to take a brief look on competitive advantage and business strategy. So let's start. For today's class, we only have two brief objectives. First, to understand and learn how to apply a fundamental framework for defining a competitive advantage. I also want you to recognize how to develop a business strategy designed to capitalize on that advantage. And so, with that, let's think about what competitive advantage actually is. If we would want to define this type of advantage, it would only mean to take your distinctive competences in terms of cost and differentiation and how that brings value. And in this sense, competitive advantage is going to be a term that is going to be consistently in the biodesign process. It's something that you're going to have to continuously assess and redefine as you improve your product, your service, and everything within your company. In this sense, competitive advantage is going to be one of the most fundamental and important things to actually know from your product. And with that, how do you go by and actually think about the competitive advantage? How do you define it? Well, for that, we have a framework. In this sense, we can see here that you can take your capabilities and your resources and think on them as a list of distinctive competences. These distinctive competences can be also defined as advantages in terms of cost and differentiation. How your company and how it grows and how different is your product, how that can bring value or an advantage in terms of a lower price point or in terms of the value and difference that it can bring to a customer. If you take both cost and differentiation of a product, you can define value, and in that, competitive advantage. So how do you go by and actually assess that competitive advantage in terms of simple steps? Well, first, try to understand the competitive advantages of your competitors. If you know your competition, it's more likely that you are going to be able to succeed in that space. In that terms, understanding what is wrong and what is good about your competition, it's going to bring you insights on defining your competitive advantage. So try to understand your enemy. Secondly, identify the company's competitive advantage of your own. That again, in terms of resources, capabilities, which define then the cost and differentiation of your product and services. So identify what is your competitive advantage using the framework I just mentioned. Third, try to create a statement of a competitive advantage. My product is different and valuable because of this, this, and this, right? A, B, and C makes my product best than anything that is out there, or better than this or other competitors. And at the end, try to set a strategy, right? Take your competitive advantage, think what is important and valuable about your product, and make that a fundamental mission, strategy, and objective of your company. If you stick and follow to that competitive advantage through the time in which that advantage is actually something real, then it's very likely that your company and your product is going to be successful. Again, there is no single company that is widely accepted out there as groundbreaking and important and competitive in every single thing that hasn't achieved this advantage through investigation of their competition, understanding of everything that is surrounding that, and by defining that advantage as a fundamental stone of their strategy. And with that, we have concluded our topic on competitive advantage and business strategy. If you want to know more about this topic, please refer to our biodesign book. My name is Luis Sorensen, and thank you for watching.